Stupid tripod's in the way. Oh no, that's not it, no. Hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video. And welcome to the absolutely always wonderful location that is Kolmanskop. Whew, this was a long drive to get here, but we did it. And made a good time too, so. Whew, a wonderful, wonderful drive, beautiful drive. And here we are now. Now, I have had the privilege of being here a good few times, and I am more than happy with the photographs that I have captured in the past. So I figured today, to make this a little bit different, I'm going to set myself challenges. The first challenge is I am going to set this camera to display the images in black and white, and all of the photographs that I photograph will be black and white photographs. The second part of the challenge is that for sunset, I'm just going to use this 14 to 35 lens. And then for our sunrise shoot, I'm going to switch to the mid-range, 24 to 70. And of course, still shoot in black and white. So that's my kind of challenge, just to make it a bit different for myself and for everybody watching. So we are here. Oh God, I hate walking on sand. I have never been over to the big mansions, so I might take a wander over to those mansions to see what I can see. I have been kind of taking one or two pictures to kind of get the ball rolling, if you will. And yeah, I forgot, not that I forget, but it's just such a gorgeous place. Oh, here's that scene again. Let me turn you around. I love this place. Look at this. Woo-wee. Fantastic. Let's take a quick shot of that first. So anyways, look. Let's start the show, and if any of the photographs that I've taken thus far have turned out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you right now.
Welcome friends to the ASMR Photography Studio, and welcome to the first set of images in this week's video. After that crazy ramble that we just got through, I decided to give myself the challenge of photographing this beautiful, beautiful place in black and white. And also, as I was editing the video, decided to make the video black and white too, to kind of suit the aesthetic of the theme that we are running through today. A lot of photographs in this week's video, so I'm not going to kind of talk about each of them individually. So we'll just get through this first bunch now, and then as we progress, we'll talk a bit more about why I set myself this challenge. But overall, I'm very, very happy with how all of the images turned out and this particular set, so let's keep going.
So let me show you the setup, what I'm doing here, because it's really fun. To be honest with you guys, I feel like I'm discovering photography again for the first time, because this is amazing. I have, let me turn you around. I have essentially set the display to, to display in monochrome, and I don't know why I've never done this before. Like me on this whole, hey, let's start making black and white photos. I don't know what the hell I was thinking not doing this before, because it is fantastic. It's such a beautiful, it's such a beautiful exercise in how to see things in black and white. Oh my God, so much contrast and loveliness. I'm having an absolutely great time, really, really great time. One thing that I am trying my best to do is to try and photograph some more kind of detail shots. As you know, as I mentioned earlier, I have been here a good handful of times, which has been amazing. And I've always really kind of rushed to the shots, and I wanted to try and avoid them as best I can this time around. And obviously just try and focus in on I just want contrast, I just want light, shadow and form. Like this kind of window here that we're looking at even here now. I really love the idea of that frames, and just trying to capture all that. Or even down here, it's just also captivating. So if you look at the back of the camera, you see how that looks? Oh my God, that's so gorgeous. I am trying my best to, it's so random, I'm trying my best to shoot with no tripod. I really should have just left my bag in the car. But I'm having an absolutely great time. It's really, really fantastic. But details. I am going to photograph these, because I think that could look quite well. There's a nice kind of recurring pattern. So look, this is a mad ramble. if any of the pictures that I'm rambling about now turn out to be any good, I am going to pop them up on the screen for you right now. And fingers and toes crossed, they do.
So having the opportunity to visit this place again for, I think that was my 4th time or 5th time to visit. Like I mentioned, I have very, very happy with the images that I got, the kind of classic kind of Kolmanskop shots that I captured. You know, it's always worthwhile kind of giving yourself this extra challenge in relation to photographing scenes. Now, obviously, if you are coming here for the first time, you want to kind of get the images that that you really, really want to get. And I probably wouldn't recommend inhibiting yourself to something like this. But for me, wonderful opportunity to help create and be a bit more expressive in how I kind of document this journey.
So, one of the things that I really, really love about, running workshops and organizing workshops and leading these kinds of workshops is just seeing other people explore the places that I've had the great privilege of exploring before. And it's just so great. I really, really love it, and I absolutely adore listening to people laughing and joking and the fun that they have when they read when they discover compositions. And because, you come to a place like this, right? And you go and you get this shot. We all want it. Like, I can't deny it. I wanted it. But the beautiful thing about a place like this is that it's so varied in what you as a person see and what stops you in your tracks. And I've always maintained to anybody who asks or anybody who watches, if something stops you in your tracks, explore what it was that stopped you. And this place is a real prime example of that, because there's corners, there's nooks, there's crannies, there's details, there's history, there's aging, there's obviously the whole desert consuming the buildings. It's just such a wonderful experience, and yeah, one that I'm delighted to be a part of. So it's really, really good times. Anyways, let's continue on.
I've also found great pleasure in the use of the camera itself, and as I mentioned, just being able to see how the images will look and feel on the back of the camera is such a wonderful opportunity to, again, just be more creative. It really allows you to kind of play around with shadows and light and contrast, and that's one of the things that I really, really, really enjoyed about this particular challenge, just seeing those deep kind of blacks and those kind of really bright highlights. And I'm super happy so far with how everything has gone. It's been a real great.
So, as we make our way through the spooky hallways of this wonderful, wonderful place, I am reminded of past visits and just how wonderful of an experience it all has been. So, if you remember last year on the tour, there was a wonderful photographer by the name of Courtney who I had helped her line up one of her shots, and here it is. And it was such a fantastic photograph. So I have to give a shout out to Courtney. How are you, Courtney? I hope you're doing well. So if you remember last year, now this is one of my favorite photographs anyway that I took last year, and it would be rude of me not to shoot it again in black and white, because it's pretty monochrome anyway, but I'm sure we're on this kind of journey together, so we might as well see what we can do. But it's such a wonderful, wonderful hallway, and I absolutely adore it. But I think we'll photograph this shot, and then I will pop up on the screen the pictures that I've been ambling around taking, and then we'll probably leave it until tomorrow. Everybody's having such a wonderful time. As I mentioned before, it's such a great place to explore. But anyways, let's have a look at these pictures.
Photographing in black and white also as well gives you a really wonderful opportunity to experience a location in a very, very different way. When you strip away all of the color from a scene or a location, it really just boils it down to very simple terms of light, shadow, form and contrast and all of these beautiful things. So again, it's such a worthwhile endeavor to, you know, retrain your brain, if you will, to see the world in this way through your camera, and one that I'm telling myself probably more than anybody else, and it's something that I have to remind myself to kind of do every so often, because the results I'm really happy with. It's really lovely.
Well, good morning, folks. Oh, I'm tired. Doing it the opposite way is proving to be a challenge for sleep. Just seemed like we could rest a little bit more on the way, you know, the normal way that this trip is run. It was just the long drives into the long kind of shoots. I can catch up with you, you know. But sure, look, here we are, back again at the wonderful Kolmanskop. Unfortunately, is desperately overcast. So getting any of that kind of, you know, really kind of strong directional light, I don't think is going to happen for us today, unfortunately. But the challenge remains. I have changed to the 28 to 70. This is a 2.8 lens, and it's a very nice lens. And that's the challenge. So I'm going to continue in the black and white, and going to shoot just with this lens. I'm not even going to bring my tripod. One of the guys in the group left his tripod last week at one of the lodges, which is getting forwarded to Windhoek, unfortunately, so he has my tripod for the day. But other than that, all is well. Had a lovely dinner yesterday. Everybody's super cool. We had a good laugh. And so the exploration shall continue. I'm looking forward to kind of like, you know, the limitations of being a bit punched in, and having the opportunity to hopefully kind of zoom in a little bit further than 35. So let's have a wander and see what we can see. So I have been ambling around in this kind of dawn light, and you know, it's actually really nice because I'm staying outside. I haven't gone into any buildings yet, and I'm just kind of photographing the exteriors of things, because there are some wonderful shapes. And you know, again, like I mentioned yesterday, you know, purely shooting in, like, having this set up to display in monochrome, it's such a wonderful, I'm having such a great time. It's deadly. And again, I don't know why I have never done it before. So like, say this scene here, for instance, now obviously there's no kind of like, you know, crazy light happening, but for me, it's so cool. Hold on. Let me turn this around so you can see the camera, say. So you see the way we have it displayed here in black and white. I just love that. It just adds a wonderful kind of texture to the scene, and the depth, the darkness, and the kind of spooky ghostness of it. Oh, it's actually kind of cool in here too. Oh man, this could have worked with light. God damn it. But anyways, if any of the pictures that I've taken so far turn out to be any good, I am going to pop them up on the screen for you right now.
So you'll probably have noticed over the course of this video so far is that I personally tend to lean into more of a really dark, kind of moody, contrasty black and white processing. And obviously this was shot intentionally to be able to enhance that to some degree in post-production, and I'm really super duper happy with how these are turned out. And I've always loved that kind of really rich, deep contrast in black and white images. There is one or two kind of higher key images throughout that I scattered around. Other than that, you'll have a good idea of the kind of way that I perceive these kinds of scenes in relation to how I ultimately kind of post-processed these images to, you know, emphasize that depth and that deep shadow.
So one of the things that can prove to be a challenge in a place like this is the footprints. I think I mentioned this yesterday. You know, you want like clean frames. Usually it's the case where we'll kind of like, you know, a heavy breeze will blow a lot of kind of fresh sand in and like obscure a lot of the footprints. Because time to time we tend to be always the main people here, in the mornings at least. And but during the day, obviously, it's a very popular place to come and visit, and rightly so, it's gorgeous. But if the wind doesn't blow, the footprints from the previous day remain. So I can prove a bit of a challenge, but this is just the way it is. Let's see if Photoshop can fix that. This isn't a spider web, by the way. This is my hat falling to pieces. So yeah, but it's a wonderful, wonderful place. I'm actually come in now to a few of the buildings that I've never come into before, and I really do want to go up to the big mansions that are up the hill. So I'm going to head up there next. So if any of the pictures that I have taken thus far turn out to be any good. Oh, and actually, you know what? I think I've taken more pictures here in the last, like, you know, day and a half that we've been visiting here than I have on the whole trip. So there you go. It's such a wonderful place. I'm so like excited about the fact that I'm using this kind of black and white preview on the camera. Everything's new and lovely. But anyways, if any of the images that I shot so far turn out to be any good, I'll pop them up on the screen for you now. And let's get exploring up to these mansions.
In relation to black and whites also as well, there's a wonderful, great opportunity for a better story to be told, particularly in a place like this that's old, that's abandoned. They kind of lean into black and whites very, very nicely. While there is colour throughout the buildings, as we will see, oh well, no, we won't see, you know, if you ever have the opportunity to visit, there is colour on the walls. You know, utilising this kind of idea of seeing it in monochrome, it really helps enrich the kind of environment that you are in, and it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to kind of do that if you ever go kind of to abandoned buildings and so on and so forth. You know, a good challenge, set yourself to see that environment in monochrome.
You know, it's actually proven to be such a wonderful thing. As I'm on my way over to the mansion here now, I have popped my head into, you know, a few of the shots that I kind of know, if, you know, obviously haven't been here a couple of times. And it's actually really, really interesting seeing them again in a kind of, you know, black and white format. So it's really cool. It's really, really cool. Like, it's actually quite inspirational. So if you're ever feeling like you're a bit meh, swap it, man, swap it over. Just shoot it in black and white and see what happens, you know. It's really, really cool. So look, let me turn around here now. So there's two mansions. There's three mansions. There's the one off here to the right, the one that's in the middle of the frame now, and then the one to the left, and then there's one further on up then as well. And like I say, I've never really explored them, so let's go have a look. No, there's, you know, as far as I know, there's none of that kind of like classic windswept sand consuming the, you know, the doors and things like that. But you know, it's still quite unique. Bathtubs. I want to see a bathtub. It's ultimately what I'm looking for. So let's go and see if we can find a bathtub somewhere to photograph.
There's also a wonderful opportunity to tell a good story using monochrome, and that's one thing that I really tried my best to do when photographing this location this time around. I kind of wanted to approach it more as like a documentary style photography, if that makes sense. And for me, again, like I mentioned in the previous ramble, you know, enriching the kind of contrasts within these frames, again, it's just deeper, and it's just, for me, it's just a bit more meaningful, and I love the impact, you know, super sharp contrasts have throughout these images, and it's really, really one that I'm super happy with.
So the microphone is gonna die. I should charge it long enough, but I'm out of the wind, so we should be okay. Let me walk you around this mansion here. It is. It's actually spooky as balls. I'm not gonna lie to you. So you got this staircase, which will go up now in a minute. Hopefully it doesn't collapse under me. Get off. Ooh, I just took a picture of the ground. Let's take a picture of this. Oh yeah. You know, one thing that's really beautiful about this frame, let me, hold on, I'll turn you around here. So, let's have a look. So can you see that? See the way it's, you got the window on the left, or on the right at least, and then the door glowing really, really white there on the left. And for me, that makes a really lovely balance and composition. My settings are a bit high, just because I don't have my tripod. But I'm just shooting handheld, but it's fine. It's actually fine. You don't really need to go any lower than maybe 1/60th of a second, which this camera seems to manage quite well. And so hold on, let's continue exploring. I really like that door shot though. I might neaten that up a little bit after I stop rambling around here to you guys. There's the entrance way. I went underneath, there was like a basement, and I went underneath the basement. It was so dark, it's so spooky. I was like, I need to get out of here. Ooh, broken glass. So you can see, obviously, you have to be very, very careful when you're walking around here as well, because there is a lot of broken glass. And you know, one of the things that I do always say as well, folks, is to watch out for these nails, because they can snag on your bag, you know, and or it could like tear your clothes or something. So you see, even here, like this, I'll tidy it up. Let's just continue exploring. I'm going to stop taking photos. We'll use this as a scouting event for us all, and see if we can get upstairs. Oh, it's so spooky. I really hope the stairs doesn't collapse under me. I don't know, I've been eating a lot. Thankfully, hopefully I haven't gained that much weight. Let's see. There's still a nice bit of paint on the walls here though, which could be kind of cool. Ooh. Nice. Ooh. We're in like the loft. I like this now. Oh my god, it's so spooky. Okay. Okay, let me frame up a few shots. And ooh. Let me frame up a few shots up here, because I think we've got loads to work with. And I'm sure, as usual, if any of these pictures turn out to be any good, I'll pop them up on the screen for you right now.
And finally, as we go through the last set of images throughout this set, shooting in this way for me at this location also really helped kind of emphasize a mood to the frames. And that's one thing that I'm really, really delighted that I was able to kind of bring out throughout these sets of images. There's story, there's depth, there's contrasts, all of these things we discussed. But the mood and the atmosphere in shooting in this way really, really helps kind of enrich the experience of being here. And there's like a ghostly feel to them, which I really love about these particular sets of images. It's probably obvious that I kind of followed a template, if you will. Not that I used any LUTs or anything, but I was kind of modeling these black and white post-processing kind of ideas and shooting techniques in the field. There's a really, really good show that was all shot in black and white called Ripley, and I love the feel to that particular show, so I would highly recommend you watch that. I kind of used those ideas in the way that the show was shot to kind of, you know, bring across into these particular images. I just love that kind of rich, dark contrast, and I'm really, really happy with how all these images turned out. Anyways, that's a crazy bunch of rambling for you. Let's tidy it all up.
So folks, I think we shall leave it here. Once again, this place has proven to be exceptionally beautiful. Even in overcast light, it's different. You know, you really want that kind of streaming directional light, because it just makes the contrast so much more stronger and pop, and the sand glows. But yeah, even in overcast, it's still nice. This has been a wonderful little experiment. I am glad I gave myself this challenge. I really hope the images turned out okay, which you guys all would have seen. They look cool on the back of the camera. So I really hope I'm able to kind of like do them justice. Now, obviously this is my first time using Canon, and one of the guys on the group has the kind of next model after this one. So he was telling me that in Lightroom or Bridge, or I use Camera Raw, that you just have to change the profile and it'll bring it back to what I was seeing on the back of the camera. So I hope I'll have to play around with that. But anyways, oh God, I hate walking on sand. Nonetheless, it's been a really wonderful experience, and like I mentioned before, very exciting just to see things so differently. Yeah, it's just so wonderful. I had such a great time, and everybody's had such a great time here at Kolmanskop. It's a really beautiful place. But sure, look, I'm going to stop this ramble. If you like the video, folks, do please give it a like, and if you fancy following along for more adventures like this, you are, of course, most welcome to hit that subscribe button, and some fun adventures coming up, to be sure. So, yeah, I think this is the only video I've actually recorded an outro for. I have to remember to do them. But sure, look, anyways, I'll see you all in the next one, folks. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers.